everybody, this is Robin Rosensteel at the Emporium. I had a request yesterday that Dan missed seeing Merlin, so this was the compromise today. He was sleeping in another room, so I literally brought his bed in here so that he could participate today. Anyway, how's everybody doing? It's kind of wacky Wednesday. I had an interesting morning. My technology for WebEx wasn't working right. I got frustrated after a meeting, so I drove to town. To a little town called Stockton, Illinois, to the grocery store to pick up a few things. And I was just randomly walking down an aisle, and I saw like hemp powder, which I was like, huh. So I ordered it, so I bought it, and I made it into a smoothie. And I did not know that hemp powder has a lot of protein. So for those people who, are trying to get away from meat, or with the potential shortage of meat, hemp powder. I was surprised how much protein there is in hemp powder, and it's got like 9 amino acids. It's like a really high quality food supplement. So I was just shocked by that, and it's plant-based, which is interesting because I'm really getting back into my medicinal herbs, and I found that kind of interesting that in this little grocery store, literally, it's not like Whole Foods, that they actually had hemp powder. So I bought it, and I was really excited about that. So something worth checking out. Anyway, I thought today we would, since it's kind of wacky, and we would pick a spirit animal card. And this is always a spirit animal card is always good when you're looking to, you're kind of stuck and you're afraid to move forward. It kind of helps you incorporate what kind of energy do we need to move forward with our dreams or passions, So I'm picking a card here, Merlin, and the card is, Vulture Spirit. This is one of my favorite cards. Nothing is wasted. If you've ever watched vultures, they are like, their wingspan is big. And what's fascinating about vultures is in the morning, I've been on walks in a local park, and in the mornings as the sun is coming up, they all they have their wings up looking at the sun as the sun comes up, like they're praying to the sun coming up. Actually, they're drying their wings, but it is just a phenomenal picture. And what's interesting about vulture is that nothing is ever wasted. And because sometimes you think, well, you've gone down a path in life and then you walk away from it for whatever reason. Maybe you're afraid to pursue it, or things didn't work out and you had to walk away from it. But this vulture spirit is always about nothing is ever wasted. And it kind of goes back to my little story about the hemp. Years ago, I started a medicinal herb farm back in like 1999, very cutting edge for Northern Illinois. Well, needless to say, it was so cutting edge, it didn't go very well. And I learned a lot, but it wasn't self-sustaining. It was just too hard, too complicated, and it was just too way ahead of its time at that point. So what's interesting is I learned all this stuff about medicinal herbs, how to grow them, cultivate them, make teas, everything. And in like 2005, I just walked away from it all. And now I find myself being called to do it again. So I'm actually going to start some workshops up this summer. So it's interesting. So it's kind of like a great example of vulture spirit. Nothing is ever wasted in your life. Everything is a building block for something else. And here's a perfect example where I walked away from something in like 2005, and 15 years later, it's coming back pretty much screaming at me to start up again. So I've been starting to order some plants and some seeds. And there's a shortage of seeds too. Anyway, my other little thing I'm learning, but that's okay. I'll just go with it. So anyway, so really think about, right? Where do you have that misbelief about yourself, where something you've learned, it's just been wasted? Maybe you've took Reiki for years and never did anything with it. It wasn't wasted. Maybe it just needs to come to you in a different form. Something that works for you, or when you're more ready for it. That's a perfect example. Maybe some classes that you took that you never pursued. For me, permaculture is coming back again too, which is something I studied, and it's coming back around. So it'll be interesting to see where this all goes this summer with the shelter in, and how it's really bringing out some of my passions that I put on the back burner, and they're starting to come out again, and I'm really looking forward to pursuing them this summer. So anyway, so let's do a little mini sound bath, and maybe you could sit into thinking about something that you thought you've wasted, and how maybe you can turn that around, and how it's really a building block to something else. So let's take a deep breath in, hold, exhale. Again, a deep breath in, hold, exhale. And one more deep breath in, hold, and exhale. And we'll close the space with 3 deep breaths. So let's breathe in, hold, exhale. And breathe in, hold, and exhale. And one more deep breath in, hold, and exhale. And we'll end this with picking an angel card. You want to pick a card, Merlin? Pick a card, any card. No? You don't want to pick one? Okay. Ah, forgiveness. What a great card. So if you step back and reflect on something that you walked away from, is to basically that nothing's been wasted, and to forgive yourself, you know. Maybe it wasn't the right time, or maybe you just needed to like set in and marinate for a while and understand, you know, how you could better use whatever you learned. So whatever you're reflecting on that you stepped away from and you're just now getting back into, or you're contemplating getting back in, the key thing is forgiveness, and forgive yourself, because, you know, what happened happened, and there was a point to that, and it's back to vulture medicine, that nothing's ever wasted. It always comes back around for another visit. So I'd love to hear about what's coming up for you. Else I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Thanks. Tell them bye, Merlin.